Hey everyone, welcome to Love Alchemy. So this is the first episode of Love Alchemy, and I just want to introduce myself. My name is Tamara Hanson, and I am basically the face behind this whole Love Alchemy thing. And what is Love Alchemy? Well, Love Alchemy is about the transforming and the transmuting of old patterns, thoughts, belief systems, emotions, those things that hold you back, that keep you stuck. And when we're dealing with alchemy, we are basically turning lead into gold. And when we're talking about lead into gold, we're talking about rising up, creating a new vibration, leveling up to a higher vibration, to something that is more aligned with who we truly are. As these loving, divine beings, we are essentially the universe having a physical experience. And we've just forgotten who we were or who we are. So with this podcast, I want to introduce you to basically how to step into your own power, how to step into who you truly are at a core level, that you are love. And Love Alchemy is about alchemizing those thoughts and emotions and turning it into love, to understanding that you are love. We are on a new trajectory, and change is coming. So what does this mean? Well, if you've been paying attention, there is a massive shakeup happening all over the world, and we are seeing the truth of things rising to the surface. And we are beginning to understand that the many things that we've been taught or told over the years, that they are not necessarily true. And the truth about who we truly are is starting to become more obvious to us. And I think that's where we're seeing a lot of the struggle, where people are trying to figure out and understand who they are at a deeper level. So we've kind of lost this knowledge, this wisdom, and we've become dependent on these false ideas and a false system that have us believing that we are just these mere humans and that we need to depend on certain authority figures to help us through. Kind of giving our power away, not really realizing our own power and understanding that everything is within us. And if we can come back to that and that understanding, then we can begin to see change. So we've been told that loving ourselves is frowned upon, essentially, and that we are self-absorbed if we love ourselves, and that we should only love others and never love ourselves because it's selfish, or that, we will be seen as someone who's conceited, or that's kind of how I was brought up, or the environment I was brought up in. And that is actually very damaging to a child, to believe that you can't love yourself or give yourself that love or that respect or that acceptance, that you need to seek that outside of yourself. And that can be a difficult thing to work through as you get older, as you become an adult. And then you grow up and you don't understand your emotions, you don't understand your feelings, you think that you're not allowed to respect yourself or love yourself. And that can create a lot of problems as far as expressing yourself, as far as having a deep, loving relationship with someone else, or with your friends, or with your family members. That can create a lot of problems for you. So like I said, we've been told that loving ourselves is selfish, which has created a lot of disharmony in our lives and within ourselves. This creates a lot of disruption in our mind, our body, our soul, our spirit. So here we are, friends. We're on the precipice of change. And maybe you felt it. Maybe you've experienced it. Maybe you've felt something, but you kind of just put it to the side because you weren't unsure of what it is that you are experiencing from within, or what it is that you are seeing, or maybe you're not trusting your intuition enough to fully understand what is happening in the world. So that's the thing about change. If we want it, but we're not willing to take the steps to have it or to get there, then eventually the universe kind of rocks our weak foundation to move us, to shift us, so that we have no choice but to change. And we can hold on for dear life to this weakened foundation, but in the end, we just end up more bruised and more injured than necessary. And then we still resist that change, holding ourselves back from our own greatness. We prefer to cling onto something that no longer serves us because it is comfortable or because we know it. We don't know if we change. We don't know what's going to happen because it's so unknown. It's unfamiliar territory. So we cling on to something that we know, just for that comfort. So the universe is calling us to wake up, to see who we truly are. And friends, we are all love. We are all divine. We are the divine having a physical experience. So maybe you've heard the term divine masculine, divine feminine, and it seems to be kind of tossed around lately. So what is this really? So we've been in the stage of distorted masculine. And now don't get me wrong, this isn't about male and female gender and pointing the finger at, men, nothing like that. Because masculine and feminine energy is in each and every one of us. But we've been kind of hovering or sitting in this distorted masculine energy for hundreds of years, where there's control, there's manipulation, where the divine feminine has been repressed. And this is the distorted masculine. It's not the divine masculine, it's distorted because its intention is to control and keep or rather repress or suppress individuals from knowing who they truly are at a higher level, at a higher consciousness. So like I said, when I refer to masculine and feminine, I'm not talking about female and male energies. I'm talking about masculine and feminine, which is inside of us all. And when we step into these energies at a higher level, a higher consciousness, then we're functioning at a fuller capacity because now we're balancing out these two energies. Now, because we're balancing out these energies, we begin to feel whole. because we know how to utilize those energies fully, the masculine and the feminine. And I'll go into that a little bit further about what these energies mean and what they look like. But we've kind of lost touch with the divine feminine, the nourishment, the nurturing. The distorted masculine has been running the show and kind of keeping everybody in a certain lower consciousness. However, the divine feminine is rising again, and the distorted masculine is trying its best to keep her out of the picture. The divine masculine is a protector of the divine feminine. The divine masculine steps up into the role with decisive action, with loyalty, with strength. And the divine feminine is the nurturer, providing nourishment, allowing intuition, emotion, expression. And both know that they are part of something larger, something that is loving, something that is full of awareness and wisdom. And to step into these energies, these divine energies, we have to begin to heal those old patterns, those old belief systems, those old thoughts and situations. When we heal ourselves on this level, the higher densities or the higher energies open up to us. We begin to understand who we truly are. We begin to understand our divine essence. So this is why beginning within helps to change the world. And just like Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. That's what it's about. We have to go within. We have to go within to heal and nourish ourselves. Because to see the change in our outer world, we have to begin to change our inner world. So if you take a look at your outer world and what is happening, and if you don't like what you see, then you need to change what is going on inside of you, inside yourself. Change always begins within. And that's where you need to change those old ways of being, clearing out the old, clearing out what no longer serves you. So how do you do this? How do we change? It's tough. It is a lot of effort to create change, to level up, to become the greatest versions of ourselves. And this isn't to say that we shouldn't love who we are in this moment. It isn't to say that we point the finger at ourselves saying, you're terrible, you're bad, you're a horrible person, or look at what you did back 20 years ago, 10 years ago, however long it was. That isn't what this means. It's accepting yourself in the moment, in the present, and seeing who you are. And deciding, do you like how you feel? Do you like these old habits, these old patterns? Are they creating more of the same for you in the future? Is it creating more of the same stuff? Is it Groundhog Day over and over again? Because our vibration has a lot to do with what we are creating for ourselves. So this present moment of awareness is so important. That's why they say the present moment is the present, because this is your gift. This is your time to shine, of looking at what is happening right now. So take a look at your outer world And then go within. Get to know yourself on a deeper level. Understand yourself. Look at these old emotions and habits and thought processes and beliefs that are holding you back. Are these things serving you? And do you choose to hang on to them just out of comfort because you're afraid to make that change? Ask yourself those important questions of why you're hanging on to them. Is it because you think that you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Is it because it's too difficult to change? Is it because you've tried and it just doesn't work? Or what is the payoff here for hanging on so tightly to those old ways of being? But if you don't like it, if you don't like what you're getting, if you don't like what you're seeing, how can you change within? You've got to make the effort. You've got to get to know yourself a whole lot better. You've got to understand what these habits and beliefs and these emotions are. You've got to look at them as the observer to understand them. And sometimes facing these things can be really difficult because we don't want to look at it because it might not feel so good. So can you look at it from an observer perspective? Meaning, look at these things as from an outsider's perspective, seeing them for what they are and not getting wrapped up in the old emotion of it or replaying or reliving that situation. This is about seeing it for what it is, understanding it, and making peace with it, because you can't change the past, but you can change how you feel about the past. So you can change your vibration about it. You can change your energy surrounding it. So do you choose to hang on to these things because the effort involved is too great? It would mean feeling things and looking at things that you may not want to look at anymore. But remember that disharmony and misalignment in our bodies can create ailments and physical issues that we don't need to experience once we deal with these deep emotional issues that we have, or these thought processes, these old habits. And the thing is about looking at this is sometimes we don't even know they're there. It's kind of like the refrigerator humming in the background. You don't know that it's there because you're so used to it. So what habits have you created for yourself that are just second nature that you need to look at and address because it isn't serving you any longer? You want change, but you don't know how to get there. Well, getting there means taking a look at these deep patterns, these deep beliefs, these deep emotions, and seeing what's there. And sometimes it's going to take some work because we're talking about years of deeply embedding these emotions and belief systems to the point of that you're not even aware of them anymore. So, yes, it will take effort, but that effort is a good effort. And over time, things will come up, things that you hadn't thought about for a very long time. And suddenly they're there in your face. And you may not want to look at it. But the thing is that the more you suppress it and push it down, the bigger it's going to get. Kind of like that saying of what you resist persists. It's going to come up again. And it will until you release that and let it go. And it isn't about, oh, just let it go. It's fine. Just let it go. No, it's about acknowledging it and loving that part of yourself. That's what self-love is about. Loving every single part of yourself. And those emotions and that history and whatever else is happening in your life. That's what self-love is about. Looking at that, whatever it is, and loving it anyway. Understanding that that's a part of you. And loving that anyway. Because what happened, those emotions, those belief systems, those patterns, they taught you something. They showed you something. It wasn't meant to just stay there because a situation happened to you or because a habit or belief system or somebody told you something. It's not meant to make you stay stuck. Those moments where you're feeling something or thinking something or a situation happens that shows you something, it's for you to address. It's a guiding system so that you can look at it and go, hey, I didn't like that, and why does that keep happening? And I really need to address this. So I'll address it. I'll love myself and honor myself, and so that I can let it go, so that I can release it and love it and thank it for coming, thank it for showing me that I need to change something inside of me. It's a guidepost. It's showing you the way. It's not meant to make you feel stuck. It's not meant for you to keep reviewing it and reliving it. It's showing you where your vibration is at. So, a good way to start this process of looking at your belief systems and your patterns is to meditate, to go deep within, to begin to understand who you are. And I know a lot of people have some issues with meditation because it can be kind of daunting. Your brain, your monkey brain, could be thinking and talking and chattering, and we're kind of in that society where if we're not doing something, physically doing something, then what are we doing? If we're not planning, if we're not actively participating, then what are we doing? We're not being productive, which is kind of a crazy way of thinking. We need to settle in ourselves, into our own bodies, really understand ourselves. And the way we do that is through meditation. And meditation isn't just about sitting in lotus position, but it can be a moving meditation like yoga or Tai Chi or Qigong or walking meditation, walking in nature. Nature is very healing. And if we can just shut down for a bit, turn off our phones, and just reconnect with nature, the better off we will be. A deeper understanding we will have of ourselves. So, for today, we're going to do a quick meditation to kind of get you started. And just as an aside, I do have Introduction to Meditation online course. I also have a self-love course online, and I do offer one-on-one meditation coaching as well as self-love coaching, Love Alchemy coaching, one-on-one with energy healing. So you can check out my website at lovealchemywellness.ca for further information. But I really do believe that meditating is a reconnection with your higher selves. With meditation, you begin to know yourself. You begin to understand yourself better. You are tapping into a higher consciousness, and you're tapping into who you truly are. You're tapping into your intuition. So for today, we're going to end with a quick breathing meditation just to get you started. Breathing meditations are really great for focus if you're having trouble focusing, and kind of gets you into that mind frame. So if you're sitting down in meditation, starting with a breathing exercise can help settle your body. So let's begin. I want you to get into a comfortable position where you won't be disturbed for just a few minutes. And if it's lying down, that's totally fine. But just make sure you're comfortable. Make sure you are wearing comfortable clothing. Make sure that you are not going to be bothered by anything, your environment. So get comfortable. Adjust your clothing. Just shimmy your body a little bit just to loosen it up. And close your eyes. And I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose. Feel your belly rise. And then let it out through your mouth. You can let out a sigh if you prefer, just to kind of allow that energy to move. And once again, breathe in through your nose. Allow your belly to rise. And then out through your mouth. Just letting it go. And then once again, breathing in through your nose. And as you're doing this, imagine a white light at the top of your head. And if you can't imagine the white light, then just intend the white light. Intend that a white light is flowing down across the top of your head. With every inhale and exhale, with every breath, the white light continues to travel down your face, and your neck, and your throat. Inhale, exhale. Allow the breath to flow across your body, across your chest and your upper back. And down your shoulders and your arms and your hands and your fingers. And allow this light to flow down across your torso and your lower back. Allow the light to flow across your hips and your pelvic area. Inhale, exhale. Allow the light to flow across your legs, the upper legs, your knees, and your lower legs. Keep breathing. Keep expanding that breath. Keep relaxing into the breath as that light flows across your ankles and your feet and your toes. Allow this light to heal you, to nourish you, to nurture you. Keep breathing deeply, allowing the belly to rise on every inhale and to fall on every exhale. Just allow the breath to flow. Inhale, exhale. Allowing it to relax your body and your mind. Allowing it to relax into the deepest part of you. And continue with this breath for as long as you like. Don't hurry. Don't rush. Just continue with the breath. If a thought flows in or an emotion, just thank it for coming and allow it to float out. This is your time. This is your moment. Stay here as long as you like. Thank you, and namaste.